Okay, so we got two new commanders, and then what? I'm Shinchi Strategy. Welcome to Rise of Kingdoms. What is up, gangs? How are you guys doing? So before we start this video, I want to challenge you in the comment section below. Type down in the comment, what commanders do you actually want to invest on? Is it either Yi Sun-sin or Theodora, and why? So after watching this video, let me know in the comment section below if your approach now had changed or it remained the same, and again, provide a reason why. It's a little challenge in here. Now keep in mind, in this video, I wouldn't talk about the pairing for Theodora and Yi Sun-sin. It's a given. You can do this combination. If you're not so sure about how you're going to pair these two up, I would recommend to use Theodora as a primary commander so you can cast that 1700 damage factor. Now also keep in mind the damage dealt for each target will reduce 15% whenever you're hitting them with the AoE. So I would really recommend Theodora as a primary than Yi Sun-sin, just because you can cast that higher skill damage right away. So we have two new commanders. It's Theodora and Yi Sun-sin. First, let's talk about Theodora. The question is, who should be investing on Theodora? Right now, I want to tell you right away is that if you're an F2P player, I wouldn't really recommend for you to invest on Theodora unless you're really wanting to have her in your arsenal, but there would be really no value for her. Some of you might debate that you want to get that AoE skill, so at least get her first skill maxed out. Honestly, this is a Season 5 commander coming out. By that time, if you don't have YSG, I would say just buy. So if you don't have YSG by then you really need to rethink your decisions in the game. Theodora is not recommended for free-to-play. What's the benefits of having Theodora? Well, she is a very high damage commander, as you can see in here. It's 1400, but when it's expertise, so you really need to expertise Theodora. It's going to be 1700. Who should probably invest on this? Well, if it's not F2P, then it's gonna be who? It's the spenders. It's the big spenders, okay? This is an MGE that for F2P you should definitely skip. Don't even train troops on this MGE. Let the whales do their work for this one. There's really no value for you for F2P. Now for the whales, so tanky. This is a very tanky commander. Very tanky. Very good at structure and defense. She also can remove controlled effect on her troops. What she can do is remove Takeda Shingen's controlled effect. So that's really great for defense. It really goes against the Attila and Takeda combination. Now, what about like Attila and Saladin, right? So yeah, that's another option that Cabs Gang can do, is using an Attila and Saladin. Now, another thing that is great for her is that her stats, right? I like her stats because it says here that it has to be more than 50%. And we're going to talk about YSS a little bit there because he has kind of like the inverse of Theodora. I hate when it's the inverse, right? I like it when it's like 50% strength because most likely when you're trying to defend a flag, once you go down to like 50%, you're probably gonna get wrecked, and you probably should be done by then. You're not gonna succeed, based on my experience. Now, if you guys have a different experience, then share that experience to us. She's just amazing at garrisoning structures, right? That's basically the basic of it. There's really no point in going too nitty-gritty into the skills of her, but like she's just insane on defense, and what really makes her unique, like I mentioned, is that the removing of the controlled effect. Now she does have one RNG based skill, which is her fourth skill, and that's pretty much it. She has 10% chance to gain 10% more damage bonus for 3 seconds, so that's pretty much it, really. Now let's talk about like possible combination for her. I'm just trying to make this brief, and then we'll summarize a little bit later if whatever I'm going to be doing and how do I rate her. So for her combination, I would say, so I would use Wu Zetian more like a secondary commander. I would say you can definitely still use Wu Zetian as a primary, but the really big thing in here is that you're missing out on the defensive tree. So some people may say that they actually want the rage engine from Wu Zetian. Honestly, it's great, but if you are looking into Wu Zetian's support tree, it's really not that great. The defensive tree would really give you more value, so I would highly recommend if you want to do that pair, I think that's going to be a solid pair. Use Wu Zetian as a secondary and use Theodora as a primary. Now, another combination that I think is Constantine. I would really recommend Constantine. You know what? I'm really falling in love with Constantine and how awesome he is. I kind of wish I've invested on him. So he is one of my biggest regret not investing on him right away. So I'm truly am working my way to get Constantine maxed out. Regardless of these two new commanders, I'm gonna get Constantine maxed out. Now, with Theodora, you can even do a Constantine as a secondary. I would really suggest a full infantry build. Now, you may want to switch your leadership talent pad for Theodora. If you're gonna be doing it, you're not really gonna be working onto this pad. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of some of these either way, because you're actually losing a lot in the talents in here. So you may want to focus on the defense pad of Theodora and the Garrison pad mostly for that talent tree. For now, we're not going to build a talent tree, but we will probably make a video or put it on Discord. So if you're not on our Discord, you're not going to be seeing the talent tree of my Theodora build. So make sure to join our Discord. There's a link in the description below. All you need to do is click that link and then you can join our Discord. And also you can chat with us over there as well. Now, another great pair that you can do with Theodora is, you know what, this is going to be crazy, and you can even do a Takeda Shingen, a combination in here. Imagine that, full cabs. I think this would be really great. I've seen a lot of the Wu Takeda. It actually is very scary. As an archer gang, I wouldn't rally that. That's a great, you know, deflection towards the archers. Now, if you do Theodora and Yi Sun-sin, that's another great combination, of course. I mean, they're released together as a pair, right? I would say that if you do these combination, these two, they could be really weak against like high skilled commander. That could be their downfall. So the archer gangs can definitely take advantage of that. So if you want to prevent yourself from that situation, you have to put Wu, or you have to put like Takeda. Constantine is also great. The problem with Constantine is that you don't really have skill reduction unless you have a coin. No, that's pretty much it. Now, I would rate Theodora more like a 9 out of 10 in my book because she has really good defensive stats in here and she only has 1 RNG. So in my book, she is a very solid defender. And I think if you are really concerned about countering Attila and Takeda, she might be the one that's going to be able to counter because of that removing controlled effect from Attila. Now, let's talk about Yi Sun-sin, or YSS for all those lazy rocker out there. Lazy gang! Anyway, for him, he is really great. Honestly, he can do both defending and as well as open field. As you can see, here's a field battle. Now, based on what I know, field battle means only in the open field. Apparently, it does not work for rallying structures, so keep that in mind. It's not going to be working for rallying structures. So Yi Sun-sin for rallying, for going on offense on structures, he's probably a no-go. All right, a no-go. He is a very high skill damage, even higher than Theodora in here for like open field, but it changes when it's like in the Garrison. It's only like 1400. But also keep in mind, like, this commander does AoE damage only in the fan shape area though, but Theodora does a circular AoE, so very similar to Yi Song-ye. Actually, it's exact identical for the skill. So now for YSS, he is a very tanky commander, but a lot of them is RNG based. Now, the first time that we looked into YSS, I was like blown out in here because like I was so excited because he seemed like so awesome. But as I realized that he's actually, you know, moderately okay, he's not that great, honestly, because a lot of it is RNG based. 2 of his skills RNG based right here. Although this is a, you know, passive stats right away, 20%. The shield is also RNG. And one thing that really I hate about the skill of Yi Sun-sin, or YSS, sorry, YSS, I might have to keep saying YSS, is that if I am like defending a structure and I'm not gonna let it go down to 50%, so I'm not gonna really get the benefit of this. So this would be good for open field battle, but not in the structure. It's kind of like El Cid. That's one of the things that I hate about El Cid, is because it has to be like at 50% reduction before you get this benefit in here. So it's very similar to Yi Sun Sin. Now, if they flip this into maintaining 50% troop above, right? So then that would be really, really good. But honestly, this skill is shit. This skill is bad, in my opinion. I don't like it. At first I thought it was cool, but like thinking about it more deeper in here, I just don't like it. So with the expertise skill, Broken Moon, increase attack by 20%, 20% defense. But here's the catch. You have to command 2 or more different types of units. Why do they have to do this? Like, I feel like this is like putting cherry on the top and then taking it away. It's so good, but yet makes you want to go rage, right? It's like, why? But honestly, in my opinion, it's not too bad, but I would prefer it if it wasn't commanding 2 or more unit types. I don't like that restriction that they have put, but it would work in some cases, right? So let me talk about the commanders that you want to pair him up with. This is gonna interact with that so heavily, a lot of the influences for the commander pairing. For the commander pairing, if you want to really take benefit of this skill, you would want to use Wu Zetian in this combination, because with Wu, we've seen it, right? We can put anything in here, and with the leadership pack, we can put different combos. So if you're actually doing a mixed troop, he would be a very good combination with Wu Zetian. You can either put Wu as a primary or a secondary, but I would recommend secondary because of the defensive tree. But if you want to get benefit on the siege stats, then you can do a primary Wu. But it would work. It's just my recommendation. Another thing is that if you're fighting in the open field, what you can do is 8th of Fled. Alright, 8th of Fled combination. If you're going to be doing a garrisoning, now you can also do a Constantine combination here. You have to have more infantry, and maybe you can do like a 75% infantry and then a 25% calves, because why calves? Most people are going to be rallying with calves. You don't want to put archers there. You want to put calves instead. Or even you can put siege, just more of a salvage units in there, but you just want to get the buff. So that's one thing you can do. I suggest Constantine because Constantine can increase the health of the infantry like 40%. It's insane. Another thing is that you can do Takeda as a secondary. With Takeda, you can put more calves, and I would suggest put infantry like 25%. Now, if you want to do an open field battle, I would really recommend like Frederick. You know, people have forgotten about Frederick. For those people that has Frederick and you want to use Yi Sun Sin, hell, I think it's a very good option to use Frederick in here. I mean, like, you can do like mixed troops. I mean, I don't know if I can find Frederick, guys. Where is he? I think I've lost my Freddy. Where's my Uncle Fred? Alright, so here's my Uncle Fred. I see him now. You get some great skill damage, healing, and also more troops. So, what else can you ask for Mr. Uncle Frederick? Honestly, I would rate YSS more like an 8 out of 10. The reason why is because there's just so much on the RNG base from this commander. So at first I thought he was like super awesome, but now looking into it, he's kind of okay in my opinion. Now the question is now, what would Shinchi be doing for the next runs of the commanders? At first I thought I was going to be focusing on Yi Sun Sin. Then I've thought about, you know, perhaps Theodora might be awesome. But I realized is that, why am I have to do that? Like, I already got Constantine. I'm gonna be maxing Constantine out. And I already got like Artemisia as well. I got really great defenders in here. Now what I'm going to be doing is that I'm just going to keep on focusing on my Constantine and Artemisia, and I'm just going to say screw these two, and I'm not really going to be investing on commanders in here. What I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to let other people invest on them, and then they can have those 2 commanders for all I care. These 2 commanders wouldn't really be great on Sunset Canyons as well, or the Lost Canyons. So I want to start looking into my approach into the game holistically, not just looking into garrisoning. So I'm definitely working on Constantine. I'm going to be maxing him out. And I've mentioned this before, I'm going to be doing a Artemisia and Constantine, like full infantry defense on that one. So it's going to work, and I know it. I showed you guys the talent tree for that one. Let me show you real quick. I think I built it already. Where is my Artemisia? So this is going to be like the talent tree, what I want to do with Artemisia as a primary, okay, primary with full infantry, and then secondary on Constantine. And I think those combinations can definitely repel the Attila and Takeda already. Now, the problem is that, you know, most people are probably going to say, oh yeah, you need to have this, you know, because of the control effect. You know what? It's fine. Honestly, the entire thing that I see from this, I mean, I can have most of this from Wu Zetian already. So for me, I'm not really that concerned because I have a lot of my arsenal already, and I'm trying to really do more of a budgeted approach into the game. And I feel like having Constantine can definitely amp up my defensive abilities in here into the game. So yeah, for Shinchi, I think Shinchi is gonna be opting out in these two new commanders. Perhaps I may just unlock Theodora and unlock Yi Sun-sin, but pretty much I think that's it. Now, if I see a big shift on the meta, maybe something is broken in here. But honestly, at this moment, I don't really see a big shift into the meta. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but at this moment, I don't think it's a meta-changing approach within these two commanders. Because honestly, I could rally this Theodora with my archers, and I'm sure I can knock it out easily. I could definitely use Ramses in here, or even just like Edward and Tommy Riss, or even Edward and YSG. I know I'm gonna get swarmed, but if we control the field, it would be an easy approach into the game. It may be possible, I would say, that I may still try to get Yi Sun-sin, but honestly, I kind of feel like it's not worth it. I could work on him and get him into the Wheel of Fortune because that would be easier, and max him out. It would be a really good pair for my Wu Zetian. If I'm not going to be using Artemisia and Wu, it might be a good secondary, defender. I can do Yi Sun-sin and Wu Zetian. Would be really good for defending structure. So if I wanted to defend two structures, I could do that. Another thing that he would be really great with Eighth of Flight. Look at that marching speed reduction, right? So Eighth of Flight would really get some benefit for this one. So yeah, I mean, this is my approach in here. I'd say 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. But this is going to be a little bit more difficult to invest on because it's an MGE commander. So this is going to be a little bit easier. So it's going to be Wheel of Fortune. So if you're F2P, if you really want to get Yi Sun-sin, you can go for it. But I would say that I would really rather wait for the next commanders instead. I mean, I love to say that go ahead and invest on these two new commanders. But I think if you are patient enough and wait for the next new commanders, and plus, right now, we're not in KVK. Probably when we start in the KVK, it would be having, like, you know, another set of commanders coming out by then. So I would rather be patient and wait. And I would just, you know, unlock or actually do the bare minimum, like do 100 spins for the Wheel of Fortune for 3 days of that. And just get Yi Sun-sin, I guess. For Theodora, it really depends on how really eager you are and how you really want the skill that she has. But for me, I think it's a no-go for me. It's not a big deal. It's not a big loss in my opinion for me. So it's all up to you guys at the end of the day, but I've given you my opinion, what I'm going to be doing. So maybe you can decide from what I said in here, but if you truly want to get the commander and you have your own opinion as well, make sure to comment down in the comment section below what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be investing on. Let me know in the comment section below. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you again next time, rockers.